the 13th century, a king of England faced open rebellion from his barons, frustrated at the high cost of his foreign wars and influence of foreigners at court. No, we're not talking about John this time, but instead his son, Henry III. Henry was only 9 years old when he came to the throne. After years of minority rule, during which a council of barons governed in his name, when Henry came of age, he surrounded himself with advisors from Lusignan in France. But his reliance on foreign advisors caused great resentment among the barons. Based on the advice of this faction, and Henry's desire to recapture territory and prestige lost in France, the king embarked upon a series of military expeditions. His first foreign campaign was a complete failure, only narrowly escaping capture. But Henry saw a potential rebellion from his barons at this point, with lavish hospitality and generous gifts. In 1250, Henry decided to go on a crusade. To fund this venture, he was allowed to collect a special tax called a papal tenth. However, his promise to go on crusade came to nothing. Rebellion had broken out in Gascony, which was England's last territory in France, and Henry used the money to fund an expedition there instead. While successful, Henry returned in debt. The royal treasury was exhausted. But he immediately began to raise money again for the crusade, only to use this money in a military adventure to seize the throne of Sicily for his son. This venture failed, and there were further military setbacks in Wales. Henry was proving not to be a warrior king, and by 1258 the barons had had enough. Against a backdrop of military failure, spiralling debts, famine and general dissatisfaction with Henry's rule, a group of barons led by Simon de Montfort drafted the Provisions of Oxford to limit royal power.